Hi, and thank you all for coming, and thank you, great partners, for having us. My name is Thomas, and I came to meet Eric before the summer. And he asked me if we could help them organize a drink for customers and media presenting ReDown, sort of a mingle party. But when Eric told me the story about ReDown, I was like, this is something so interesting that we should do something more in-depth, sort of a talk of the presentation. Because I think what they do is so innovative and important and responding to one of the central challenges in the textile industry. So Eric asked me that he wanted to add some more people because when it comes to circularity and ReDown, it's not a one-person show. Each link is equally important to build this circle. So we wanted to add and involve 3 different companies leading in the sectors, connect to each other to bring a concrete solution to the textile market. So here we are. We have TEXAID, represented by Sophie.
Yes.
And she's a senior product manager for circular economy, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And they are the one of the major players when it comes to textile waste collection and management. So that you collect stuff.
Yes.
Basically. Yeah. And then we have Erik Firman, who's co-founder of ReDown.
Correct.
They recycle down and feathers extracted from post-consumer goods. And so they can be used as filling material. And we have FLUIDSOLIDS.
Yes.
Produces biocomposites made out of organic waste. We have Beat here.
Mm-hmm.
He's the founder, and he will tell us more about the process and the advantages of FLUIDSOLIDS. So each of them, we present what they do, and after the presentation, they'd be happy to answer any questions you have, even here, or if you just want a face-to-face question. So let's start with the first link of the chain, the collection of post-consumer goods. So Sophie here will present TEXAID.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. So I'm Sophie from TEXAID, and I'm working on circular economy project. So I'm going to talk briefly about TEXAID. TEXAID is a collecting, sorting, and recycling company of used textiles. We have 40 years experience in managing the end-of-use garment. And through the years, we have developed a dense and diverse reverse logistics to support the European and US markets. We have several ways to collect the garments, and we have lately adapted our services to be closer to the retailers. So we have now like online retail return management for to manage the online return from the customers as part of a way we collect. TEXAID is recognized for its sustainability commitment. We are committed in several social and charity projects. And we are certified. We have implemented like the ISO standards to be in line with the sustainability standards, like the energy management, environmental management, and quality management in our infrastructure in Switzerland and Germany. And as another dedication TEXAID has on sustainability, we are involved in several recycling solution research projects. The three keys activity of TEXAID is collection. We collect over 81,000 tons of used clothing in several countries, in Germany, Switzerland, Austria, Spain, and United States. So 81,000 tons is the average volume we collect every year. The second key activity of TEXAID is the sorting. We sort approximately 40,000 tons of used clothing in our own facilities, based in 6 different countries: Switzerland, Germany, Bulgaria, Hungary, Morocco, and in US. We have here a team dedicating to the quality sorting, in which they will, depending on the material, they will sort up to 60 to 300 criteria, the garment we collect. The last key activity of TEXTISET is the recycling. So the team is really focusing on the quality, and we try to identify the wearables to the non-wearables. So 59% of what we sort is detected as for second-hand use, and the other part is for recycling. 30% of it goes to recycling. When I mean recycling, is mostly 15% will go to the cleaning wipes activity. We'll transform the used clothing into cleaning wipes, and the other 15% will go into the insulation, like the garment will be shredded and used then for insulation of the buildings. 11% goes to the waste products, is because it's received stained, contaminated, smelly, so those will not be reusable, neither recyclable. So here is a big picture of how TEXTISET function. You can see here that we're trying to make things circular in the way we proceed. So we really try to make the garment usable if it's still in a good quality and customer wants to reuse it. So you can see in the first loop here that it goes back to the consumer. And if not, it goes into recyclable. So we either downcycle it or it goes to thermal recovery if it's not reusable. So TEXTISET is constantly optimizing the working process so that we really can apply the most appropriate recycling application on the garment. So this is a picture of the late services we have developed at TEXTISET to be in line and closer to the retailers. So we provide different services in our collection and sorting system. Like we have, I forgot to mention about the innovative collection ways we collect the garment. Like we have the online and the in-shop collection, where like through that, like we can provide traceability for the retailers in what the consumer are returning. We can support the re-commerce activity when customers decide to return the second-hand garment. We can support in managing the second-hand platform for them, and there's of course our research activity where we can share our knowledge about the recycling. So this is to summarize this slide about all the services we can provide. Thank you.
You told us about TEXAID's recycling innovation projects. Can you tell us a little bit more about this?
TEXAID is involved in several recycling projects in which we are participating in 15 projects, actively in Europe mostly, in which part are also in Sweden, the recycling project. And we have a team actually dedicated to the recycling solution research, which Anna is part of. Like she's here today with us, so she can speak further on that. But so we are member of 15 different recycling projects that enables us knowledge in different fibers and the recycling application that we can be leading if we have to install it in our sorting operation. And we are scouting 85 different companies that are innovating in these regards. One project that we're very proud of that we work in Switzerland, that also Anna is leading this project, is the TEXTILE project that we have partnered with University in Lucerne University in Switzerland. And so like Anna has brought some samples, so after the discussion, we're happy to talk more about this.
And your online collection system, how does it work?
Yeah, sorry, I skipped that. I forgot that one during my presentation. But the online collection is called PackMe. So it's a way to be in line with the consumer trend today where things are bought online, but we give the possibility to the consumer to return online as well. So you can, like we work with different brands, so you can either go to our website or you go to the brand's website, and you just, in one click, you can, like you put your clothes, used clothes that you want to donate, to give away in a box, and then you go into the website, you just print a sticker, and then it will go directly to our warehouse, so we can do this work in sorting and recycling in our facility. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then we have ReDown. You use some material collected by TEXAID as raw material, Eric. What do you do with it?
So yes, thank you, first of all, everybody, for coming, accepting our invitation. As Thomas said, we are recycling down and feathers that we extract from post-consumer goods, and a part of our supply comes from TEXAID. But before I dig a little bit deeper into the process, let me tell you more about who we are. So ReDown is now part of NatureTex Group, and we have our operation in southern Hungary. NatureTex is in business for about 30 years and has two main activities. One is down and feather processing. It's an original and a historical activity in Hungary. And the production of bedding products. If we look at some figures, about 1,500 tons of down and feathers are processed per year, and 3 million pieces of bedding are produced. NatureTex as a brand is a leader on the Hungarian and Eastern European markets for bedding items, but there is export as NatureTex brand or also private labels in over 40 countries. When it comes to ReDown itself, this is actually the concept. It's all about circularity, as you mentioned before, Thomas. So our supply chain starts with the collection. So you see here the street containers, but Sophie explained that there are other ways of collecting nowadays. The sorting part, which is again more the part that happens at companies like TEXAID. And then we buy from those companies the bulky down and feather pieces that is our raw material. It comes to our place, and the first step is after a sorting again, the extraction of the material, and this material gets reprocessed. The reprocessing means, of course, washing and sterilization, because you use products that have been already pre-owned and you want them clean on the market again. And then we do also a fine sorting so that we can sell our product exactly like virgin down after a composition, down feather content, and fill power, which is the warmth factor for down. And of course, all that is controlled. The quality is controlled during all the process, but we have a final quality control where we control also the cleanliness next to the few parameters that I just named. And the filling material can be reused in apparel or in bedding products, in sleeping bags, etc. So that's how we try to close the loop. ReDown in a few figures. So the ReDown division has been founded pretty recently in 2015. In the last 3 years, we have reprocessed more than 1,500 tons of post-consumer goods that are coming in. And this year, we would have done approximately over 100 tons of fine down that can be used in apparel or high-end bedding, and 500 tons of feathers that are mostly used in upholstery or decoration cushions. We are pretty happy, proud to work with good names internationally. I have here downloaded a short video from Patagonia, who is one of our first partner. It shows well our process and also how you can communicate the ReDown story to the market. So if we talk a little bit of our future plans and what we have next in the pipeline, one is an important for us industrial project. You could see on the video that the extraction is still done very manually. Basically, you cut into the duvets and you take the down out. So it looks a little bit like a big pillow fight. We want to do that in a more industrial way and automatic to improve, of course, our productivity, to make it also more workers friendly. That's actually a big project that we are working on right now, and the target is to be ready next year. Another angle that we are working on is to actually try to upcycle always more. I just realized that on the previous picture, I forgot to tell you about the side components that we are recycling too. I just go back quickly, sorry. You see that the fabric waste is also prepared for the shredding industry. This is also something that TEXAID does for the garments that are not usable anymore. But we have also developed for our own waste the down and feathers that are coming out of the sorting machine, like broken feathers or down fiber. This is actually changed into organic fertilizer. So at the end of the day, we recycle 97% of our input. And when I come here back to our next project, this is also how we collaborate with FLUIDSOLIDS, is before making a fertilizer out of our down and feather waste, we found FLUIDSOLID who can change all type of organic waste into biodegradable plastics. So it could be another way to make value out of waste. And last but not least of our project is circularity partnership with retailers. This is something that is very important for us because it's the way to collect more, to make the end consumer more aware of what we do and that down and feather can be recycled. This is how we see this. It's basically with in-store collection or with online collection in partnership with the brand that communicate with us about the recyclability of the down. Then the product would go to sorting through companies like TEXAID so that we receive only what we can really upcycle. And then you have the same flow as what I detailed before with processing, manufacturing, and new product. And this is how all together we can close the loop. Thank you very much.
Eric, you told us that 97% of your input is recycled, but we still miss 3%. Why don't you reach 100%?
Yeah, it's some room for improvement, but unfortunately it's always that kind of small gap that is very difficult to reach perfection. Actually, the products we cannot recycle are mainly mixed components. We find in some duvets mixes between polyester padding and down, or in cushions, feathers mixed with foam chips, and we cannot separate those components. So unfortunately, those go to landfill or incineration. We try to. It's also a matter of, you know, competitivity, and that's also why we try to recycle as much as we can, and again, to try to change waste into value, because everything what we send to landfill has a cost between 50 and 200 euro per ton. So it's not only about making money, but first how to save money from our waste.
ReDown is a young company, but we could see that you're working with some big international brands. I imagine that you must have faced challenges before getting there. What have been your main obstacles?
I think first of all, circularity is really in trend, and we see that all the big group have actually very ambitious targets when it comes to sustainability and circularity. So we are bringing actually, as you said in introduction, a pretty suitable solution to the textile market. But it was not that easy, even in 3 years. I would say there are always obstacles, and I think the main obstacle from a technical point of view to a marketing point of view or whatever is the human mindset that we heard so often that no, it's not possible, or we have our own sources that are running well. And I think when you start something new, this is, I would say, the things that we had to overcome with the most energy.
Beat,
Yep.
you're not from the textile industry, but you're connected to it.
Right.
A part of your raw material is down and feather waste from ReDown, and you change that into biodegradable plastic parts that can find applications for the textile industry, such as packaging in accessories. Tell us how that works.
Consumer electronics. Yes, happy to do so.
Yeah, thank you, Sophie and Eric, for the rolling out the red carpet. I will start with a statement. Waste reduction isn't a marketing priority, it's a business challenge. And it's a common sense that plastic pollution is overwhelming. And the interesting thing about this statement is it's not coming from WWF or from Greenpeace, it's coming from Morgan Stanley Capital International. So the challenge is obvious. Our solution is a proprietary material we developed in Switzerland with the 5 key features, which are there is a 0% petrol-based plastic or content involved. During composting, there will 0% microplastics evolve. It's no competition to food, so it's not made from soya or from corn. You save up to 80% of carbon emission during production, and it's 100% home compostable. So that sounds amazing, but how are we going to do that? Or how are we doing that? We take cellulosic fibers, different kind of, almost any one is possible, that accumulate as a waste or as a side stream in agriculture or in industry. We mix that with a natural binder, which is also a byproduct from industry, and we add some magic powder, natural additives, all unpoisonous and biodegradable. We mix that in a huge extruder called compounder, and then what you get is granulate pellets, just like classical plastic pellets that can be then transformed or processed into finished parts using injection molding or extrusion. If it comes to circularity, we all know linear economy is what we have been doing for years. Circular economy is coming, is rising. The circular economy mostly starts with the end consumer waste. So what we do is actually we focus on the post-industrial waste, we would say. So where raw materials are being produced or where parts are being produced. So we really like large quantities of the same waste as our feedstock. We commissioned a life cycle assessment some years ago to not only pretend how cool our material is, but also to prove it. So you have polyamide, PVC, different classical plastics, PLA, bioplastics, and on that side you have fluid solids, and I think the picture speaks for itself. Where are we in the whole plastic world? I mean, there are thousands of plastics out there. A really common and easy way to separate the plastics from each other is like fossil-based and bio-based, and then non-biodegradable and biodegradable. At the stage being 2019, bio-based means it's made from food crops, corn, sugar, soya, and so on. And biodegradable parts that you have that say that claim it's biodegradable and dishwasher safe, they are industrially compostable. That means they have to be collected and put into an industrial composting facility, and then with heat they decompose.
into carbon dioxide. So our material is home compostable, that's why it's on that side, and it's made from biomass residuals, so it's up here, so it's really standing out of the rest of all the plastics and bioplastics. If it comes to the markets, it's actually suitable for almost any product that doesn't need to be waterproof, because home compostable and water resistant is a paradox, doesn't work. At the stage being, we work for clients from the consumer electronic industry, packaging, hangers, technical parts, giveaways, single-use tools, firework parts, and actually we really started this year with mass production. We're also quite a young company. What we offer to our clients is the whole package from R&D up to industrialization. So what we do in-house in our pilot plant in Zurich, which is a great place for research and development, but maybe not for mass production. Even the salaries are higher in Switzerland, but so we offer R&D, the engineering, and the whole project management. That's what we do in-house. And if it comes to material production on a large scale, manufacturing on a large scale, and then the whole industrialization together with our partners, that is done with certified external partners worldwide. So your benefits, we have a pretty competitive price structure, so the parts are not much more expensive than compared to classical plastics, but much on top on that, it's, the most important thing is for every ton fluid solids you use, you save over 3 tons of carbon dioxide and 250,000 liters of fresh water. Thanks.
What kind of waste can you use?
We can use almost any cellulosic waste. We tried from cotton, wool, sawdust, hemp, spent grain from the beer production, coffee ground. So actually we are partnering up with a lot of big companies and helping them to use their waste to achieve the material suitable for them.
I know plastic bags are made out of corn that has been on the market for several years now. In what way is FLUIDSOLIDS different?
We don't use food as a feedstock. We think it doesn't really make sense to cut down the Amazon plant soya and then make plastic out of it, such as with the biofuel. So we developed this technology really focusing on using residuals, side streams, or waste, and turning that into a material that has an additional lifespan. Thanks.
Well done.
Glad to hear that. Should I stay here?
We have also invited persons from 2 Swedish brands that use ReDown. Karin Brink, Sustainability Manager at ARKET, Kristina Linde, founder of Lexington company. Part of the H&M group, ARKET has been launched and positioned as a sustainable brand. Can you explain us how your main goals in matter of sustainability?
Yes, so first, thank you for having me here. It's really inspiring to listen to you guys. So I don't know if everyone knows ARKET. We are actually a very young brand. We have our second birthday right now. We've been around for 2 years. And we are a modern-day marketplace and a lifestyle destination. So we have clothing for the whole family and some homeware and a cafe. So that's ARKET. And we are present in now 7 markets with physical stores in Europe and online in another 19. So yes, we have had a commitment, a genuine commitment to sustainability from start. I had the privilege to join 1.5 years prior to launch and really kind of set a strategy. And I think our first main goal is when you look at this kind of circularity model, we want to really prolong the first loop of the use of garments and homeware products. So our first goal is really prolong lifespan, so create products that are going to be used and loved for a long time, and inspire our customers to care for them and repair them. And that's the first thing. And then we also, in the spirit of circularity, we do have a collection in our stores of textiles and shoes. And then what we have been working a lot on is also to make sure that what we input in the loop and in the circularity model is as good as possible. So we have a big focus and passion, I would say, for sustainable materials. So it's everything from organic cotton to wool. We were one of the first brands to launch RWS certified wool, which is a new standard for responsible wool. And we also try to use as much recycled materials as possible. And then the third focus for us is actually transparency. We see that this is a driver for a more sustainable industry, so we've been really working hard to be more transparent about our supply chain and also share stories about our suppliers. So we have a very nice story about ReDown on our website, and we also see that our customers really enjoy that. So those are really the big focus areas for us. But if you talk about goal, one of the goals we have as part of the group we are part of is to be 100% renewable and circular. So this is a very big focus for us.
ARKET has used ReDown since the beginning. Why do you like ReDown?
Well, going back to our passion for material and really I have the chance to have such an amazing team of colleagues that are so engaged and so passionate, and they really consider sustainability as well as quality and functionality when they look for materials. And I think that was the chance for us to actually start to work with ReDown so early. They wanted to find an alternative to virgin down and feathers. They came across ReDown, and we thought that this is the perfect match for us because it has the quality and functionality and insulation that we need for our outerwear. But on top of that, it's recycled. It's not only recycled, it's post-consumer recycled, which is really what we aim for to use. And we also really like the traceability and the production process that ReDown is using.
Lexington is a lifestyle brand offering home textiles and apparel. Where do you use ReDown and why?
We use ReDown in our inner pillows, which is actually one of our huge article for us. And if you take a look over there, there's one there, and there's a funny thing about that people like that so much, so they forgot to buy the cushion covers because they like the inner pillows so much, so they use it for decoration as they are. But that is a big article for us, actually, and I'm really happy that we could do this in this way, because Lexington is a sustainable company. We have been working with that even since we started, 97. I don't think we have been so very good to communicate what we really do, so we try to be better on that now. But in our DNA is that we are working with long living products, and that's a really important thing for us also with the recycling, and we try to work as much as we can with organic cotton and so on. So the ReDown products is so important for us.
Lexington has been in the business for many years. Do you see a change in the demand? Are your customers specifically asking for more conscious products?
Yes, we got in social media, we get questions about sustainability, of course. Sometimes I think the customers are very, the most common question I think is, do you have any documents? But they don't really know what documents they ask for. So I think we have a big challenge, everyone in the room, as you work as a brand or as a journalist, that we have to educate the consumers what this is about, actually.
I can start with one question to all of you. We've seen that circularity becomes a must because of the amount of waste we generate, because of the lack of natural resources, or because of the growing pollution and the changing regulations. But do you also see circularity as a business opportunity and not only an obligation?
Yes, I think it's a business opportunity, yes, in two ways. And the first way is connect to my last answer, that of course it's a marketing thing. But I'm personally not very fond of, and Lexington doesn't stand for greenwashing. That's absolutely no for us. We need to be honest and transparent with everything we do. But that's one part. The other part is actually when you work with these questions and in the process in your company, you find ways of doing things better, more cost efficient, and in the end that will be a really big business opportunity.
Yeah, so sorry? No, I totally agree. I think as ReDown does and as we do, using waste as a feedstock is per definition a business opportunity from my perspective. And you create job, you earn money, and you do something good for the environment. So I think that's brilliant.
Yes, I mean, for us it's exactly the same. We see it from a perspective of better input and securing actually feedstock that we need to produce our materials. But we are very much also talking about the circular new business models. I mean, we are right now, at least for us, we are still selling new products in our stores. But of course we need to look into other ways of getting actually new ways of transactions. So we are looking into rental, re-commerce, and all of those subscriptions. I'm thrilled about everything that is happening in that area. We just need to find the right way to do it so that it's convenient for the customer, that it's really what our customers want. So we are right now looking into that. We have our little vintage corner in our office, that's what we've started. But we are definitely looking into, and things are going to happen when it comes to circular models for customers out there.
Thank you all for coming and have a nice day.
And thanks for helping, Thomas.
Yeah.